these are the 10 best drives I've done in the United States. This year has been a wild one, no doubt. With such a bleak situation of travel in 2020, I knew this year had to be one to see more, do more, and appreciate what we truly have. I've never gone on as many road trips this year as I probably have in my entire life. So I'm here to give you a snapshot of some of my favorite trips and scenes from pretty awesome landscapes and drives across the United States. Some originate here in my hometown state of Minnesota, while others are from a massive road trip from Minneapolis all the way down to California. And then we've even had the chance to channel our inner explorer by renting a yellow Jeep in Alaska. Number 1, Denali Highway. All right, I'm starting off with one of my favorites of all time, Denali Highway. This gravel highway spans over 100 miles and cuts right through the middle of the tundra and mountains, right in the middle of Alaska. We rented a bright yellow Jeep that channeled our inner Jurassic Park. The absolute calmness and bliss of being truly in the middle of nowhere was something I never really experienced. We only made it halfway through Denali Highway, but I'll certainly be back to do the full drive someday soon. Number 2, Great River Road. I've actually lived on the Great River Road for over 7 years and also in 2 different locations along in Minneapolis. But I've never actually drove the full length of Great River Road. So I did it to the best ability in one day by hitting both the Wisconsin and Minnesota sides in a day trip from Minneapolis. It was well worth it too. The winding road along the Mississippi River and Lake Pepin opened my eyes to the real bluff landscape that makes Minnesota truly special. Number 3, Highway 9 into Springdale, Utah and Zion National Park. On our road trip to California, one thing I couldn't be more excited about was finally seeing some of those picturesque landscapes in Utah where you have nothing but empty land, rocks, and a giant highway cutting right through the middle of it. The approach to Zion National Park was pretty epic. We hit it at the exact right time when the sunset was cascading over the rocks, and so we cued a little Tame Impala to take in the scenery, and that's truly all you needed in that moment. Number 4, Highway 11 heading into the Hoover Dam. After spending a night in the sort of sadness and depression of Las Vegas as a result of COVID, I was ready to get back on the road and kind of take in more of that rocky scenery of the Southwest. After seeing what I saw in, Zion National Park, I needed to get more of that truly desert landscape that we don't get in Minnesota. The Hoover Dam drive from Las Vegas actually surprised me. There's not a ton to see business-wise, but the infrastructure is extremely impressive. Transmission lines winding through the highways and cutting over them really helps you understand why the Hoover Dam is so special. Number 5, Highway 16A in Custer State Park. One thing that I loved about this drive was the true heartland of America. This is the Great Plains that you see in any type of movie. I love everything about the bleak, barren, white contrast with a few dark colors in the mix. Sprinkle in a quiet highway and the simplicity of knowing that there's nothing around you can be pretty satisfying. Number 6, Highway 61 in the North Shore of Minnesota. We visited the great North Shore Drive along Lake Superior in sort of off-peak season, which happens to be spring season. So we didn't capture, those epic fall colors that everyone talks about, but the North Shore is pretty amazing no matter the season. This is one where the drive itself doesn't do it true justice, but the stops along the way do. There are over 4 epic state parks along Highway 61 that nestle into Lake Superior and have pairs of towns to boot. And so this road trip was filled with hiking stops, waterfalls, towns, and lighthouses. Number 7, Highway 64 through Grand Canyon South Rim. We drove Highway 64 while it was snowing in the Grand Canyon. A lot of people don't, really appreciate That's slightly outside South Rim. It's all forest, which makes for amazing views while winding around the canyon. And there was enough snow to make a Minnesotan a cautious driver, and we're in Arizona, believe it or not. Along the drive, there are plenty of stops to take in the beauty of the Grand Canyon, things like the Devil's Watchtower. Number 8, Highway 179 to Sedona, Arizona. Sedona had the approach like Zion National Park, where you don't actually see the canyons and red rocks until you really get into the city limits. But once you do, it truly feels like approaching a whole new world. Sedona has the scenery of a national park, but it's actually a city with plenty of vacationers. The drive-in approach was one of the best I've seen in a while, plus we had no idea that what was coming for us driving through Flagstaff and Oak Creek Canyon during a complete blizzard. You won't see it in the photos here, but it was truly one of the most challenging drives that I've done of all time. Number 9, Kelbaker Road in the Mojave Desert. If you can't tell, I have a thing for complete emptiness in a scenic drive. This was one of them. Through the middle of the Mojave Desert in California, this road had nothing in sight. No gas stations, no businesses, nothing. There wasn't even a speed limit, and I love that. We drove through the peak sunset, and it really felt like you were driving in a video game. Just a constant flow of the road and a race against the sunset. I heard that you definitely do not want to be in the middle of the Mojave Desert in the middle of night. Number 10, River Parkway in Minneapolis. So the home city, Minneapolis. I had to give a shout out to this city because I truly do believe that River Parkway is one of the hidden gems of driving through any city in the United States. Yes, River Parkway is actually a part of the Great River Road in a way, but it's different. It has that city feel that combines with real nature. There are thousands of trees that run along the Mississippi River Gorge. In fall, this area lights up like a painting. Thanks for watching. This is just the start of our scenic drives, and there's more to come. If you like this video, give us a subscribe by clicking the button in the bottom right corner or the button in the description below. Or check out our blog at viatravelers.com. Cheers.